Kevin, guess what? This week we actually have a sponsor.
Oh, shit.
None of these fake ones that we've been doing. Like, legit,
all right.
We're getting money, getting paid, getting this thing going. This week is brought to you by Loot Crate.
All right.
I'll read you the copy that they sent over. Got to read it verbatim. They're kind of anal about it.
All right.
They emailed me, Dear Steve, after careful consideration, we have decided not to move forward with advertising on your podcast. We believe that your listenership is too few and that Loot Crate would not be a great fit for your audience. We wish you luck in endeavors and have a great day. Best regards.
You're so goddamn stupid.
It's not an addiction, it's a way of life.
It's only an addiction if you admit it.
It's only an addiction if someone tells you it is and you say it's not.
First step to addiction, whatever, is admitting it.
First stage to recovery, not to addiction.
Whatever.
First stage of addiction
I
is
need
try
to
the
admit
thing.
it in order for it to exist. It's like when you, what is it? Like if you never go to the doctor, you're never sick because you're never diagnosed, so you're just fine.
I have insurance, so I can't say that.
Never check your emails. Can't get bad news. Never answer your phone.
Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a day. Don't teach a man to fish, feed yourself.
Feed yourself. Fishing's not that hard.
He's a grown man.
Fishing's
not
for
that
sports only.
Whatever. Hello. Welcome to the Hodge Podcast, the official podcast of CountryHodgepodge.com. I'm your host, Steve Hodge, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, cousin, and lover, Kevin Hodge.
Oh, hello, everyone. And the blizzard that's outside.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're both... well, I might be sick tomorrow.
I'm just getting over mine, so you're going to ruin me. I feel it.
Yeah. Today, I'm going to try and do a little table of contents with this podcast, even though we always go off the rails and it's probably never going to be accurate. But today we're going to talk about the Windy City Smokeout lineup and a couple other festivals that have announced their lineups. We went to see Jason Boland and Mike and the Moonpies last weekend, and it was awesome. We're going to talk about the CDs of last week that came out that are great, and we are going to talk about the Sturgill Simpson, and it's going to be a really bad episode, so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, first of all, Windy City Smokeout announced their lineup, and we knew it was going to be good because last year was amazing.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised because, not knowing much about the Smokeout before last year, I just assumed that a festival in Chicago, that gets, a lot of mainstream kind of press. I was like, oh, well, it's just going to have shitty mainstream people.
Granted, there are a few.
Yeah, but I was like, I would have still not even, guessed that they would have really good artists be, like, during the day.
Yeah.
And then when you sent me the lineup for the day that we did go last year, I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I had high hopes going into this.
Yeah, and then this year, like, I was looking through it, and of course, I texted you that it was announced, and I was just looking through it. I was like, oh, Jamie Lynn Wilson, awesome. Get to see her again. Brothers Osborne, haven't seen them yet. That's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And then seeing Turnpike Troubadours, I was just like, holy shit.
Turnpike is on our, like, on my, if they're within, how many ever hours, like, gotta go see them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think they're coming to Cedar Rapids soon, and we're probably not going to see them, but we're going to see them in the summer, so I'm going to count
When
it as
are they coming to Cedar Rapids?
I think it's literally, like, 3 weeks.
Oh, I was gonna say if it was warm out, I'd totally go because Cedar Rapids is a great
February.
bar hopping city. So
it's like totally February or something.
Oh.
But yeah, they're because like Turnpike, Cody Jinks, Whitey Morgan, they're on my list of like if they're coming close and I haven't seen them in a little bit and I don't have plans to see them very soon. I'm going to that show.
Yeah.
I don't care where the fuck it is if it's within, hour and a half, 2 hours.
I'm also excited that Jamie Lynn Wilson's coming because her show in Iowa City got canceled, which bummed me out because it was going to be her and Jack Ingram, and I was excited for that one. Actually, speaking off tangent real quick, did you see
This wasn't in the table of contents.
Did you see Jack Ingram perform Tin Man?
I did not.
He has a video of it on YouTube, and it's awesome because obviously he wrote it.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
But yeah, so this festival, it's just, if you haven't heard of it, this is your first time listening, Windy City Smokeout. It's just a 3-day festival in Chicago. They have Friday, Saturday, Sunday concerts, and they're pretty much concerts starting at noon or 1 or something. They go all night, like pretty much up through the night, like a normal concert time. But throughout the festival, it's just all barbecue place, like restaurants from around the country. They bring in, they have their barbecue for you to try, and then all these breweries. So it's just amazing beer, amazing barbecue, and then amazing music.
Yeah, and the thing that really sold me on Windy City Smokeout last year, outside of the obvious great music, beer, and all that stuff, was they are on the forefront of the festival experience because you can load your fucking credit card onto your wristband.
It's so awesome.
And so you just put your wrist onto, like, the iPad-looking thing. Motherfucker!
I had it muted before.
So you just, like, place your wrist onto, like, the iPad thing that the person's checking you out wherever you're at, food, barbecue, whatever, and just put your wrist down, bleep. It charges your card. You don't have to take anything out of your pockets.
Yeah. You can literally leave your wallet at home.
You can double fist your beers and never have to worry about fumbling with your wallet and shit. And I'm like, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and of course it's during the summer when it's nice out.
Yeah, and it's beautiful out.
So
and Chicago is where we're from, so it's an excuse to go back there, which is nice, and get drunk downtown, which is nice.
Yeah, I don't mind that part.
And expensive.
I don't like going downtown though, but the drunk part
I like
mind.
downtown.
I don't.
I like going to downtown, and then I like leaving shortly after.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go for the thing, but then I want to get the fuck out of there. Yeah. The other concerts that were announced were Tumbleweed, which is Kansas City.
It's just outside of Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean they say it's Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean it's. Yeah.
And that one has Cody Johnson's headlining. In front of me.
I know the ones that I saw the ones that I saw on the list that I haven't seen before that I got really excited about are Tyler Childers is one. Obviously, I really want to see him. I've talked about his album I don't know how many times on this podcast. It's amazing.
A handful.
And then Steelwoods, which I also have talked about a bunch of times on this podcast because I was really obsessed with their album. So they're amazing. I'm kind of blanking on a lot of the other artists, but I know that it's pretty solid through and through, collection of artists,
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now, and Marty Stewart and Robert Earl Keen are the other two headliners, and then Dale Watson, who we have talked, we know him.
Yeah.
Ward Davis. Yeah. Shooter Jennings, Ray Wiley Hubbard, Alex Williams, Blake Berglund.
Oh yeah, Blake Berglund was the other one.
Eric Dillon, Evan Webb, Jamie Lynn Wilson again.
Yeah.
James Carruthers? Is that how I say it? Carruthers?
I would say like Carruthers, but I don't know if that's correct.
I don't know. Mickey LaMantia, who we talked about. Sarah Morgan, whose CD came out just like 2 weeks ago or something, and it was amazing. Shane Smith and the Saints.
Yeah.
And Tony Martinez. Oh, and Zephaniah O'Hara.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, that's an amazing lineup. So we're probably is that a camp out one also?
You can camp, yeah.
Yeah, so we probably do that one.
Yeah.
But
you can certainly camp.
Yeah, that one's so we have that in June. We have Windy City in July. Then we have Medicine Stone in September,
and then also possibly. Hinterland, something like that. That's in Iowa, outside of Des Moines. So actually, the closest of the, Tumbleweed, Medicine Stone, and Hinterland. And Hinterland's kind of got a couple. It's interesting because it's got artists that are like legitimately, but it's got artists announced that are like legitimately like kind of like pop. EDM almost, I think, announced based on the description.
Chverches.
Yeah, those people. But Nate Rate is the one headliner, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and they're amazing. And then Tyler Childers is another one that's playing. Sturgill's going to be playing
Band
there.
of Horses, Blackberry Smoke,
Blackberry Smoke is another one that I'm really like. I really want to see them. And then J. Roddy Walston, I like them a lot too.
Joshua Headley.
Yes, Josh Headley's.
And then at night, Wheeler's playing.
Yep, and Wheeler's playing that last night. Yeah. So basically, I feel like my theory is that since the Super Bowl got done, everybody in the world did a giant news dump because they didn't have to worry about their news getting washed away by the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so now we have all these things. But then the final festival that's actually like going on right now / this weekend is perfectly timed with our goddamn blizzard that we're dealing with. Blizzard. The blizzard that we're experiencing, the people are not experiencing it down in Key West at Mile Zero Fest. I've been seeing Instagrams and Twitters of Jamie Lynn and them down in Key West, and it looks really nice, and I'm really jealous.
Yeah, if only to get away from the snow in Iowa.
Yeah,
and
it's an unreal lineup.
When they announced that, I know we were gonna go, we were thinking about, but knew you'd probably be busy with work.
I honestly probably,
and I'm poor.
Like I probably could have made it work if I planned it ahead, but I couldn't have known that far ahead of time.
Yeah, but so there's so many festivals coming up. We're like country clones right now. Festivals.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I think is hilarious is we had that entire festival versus bars like podcast topic, and I'm pretty sure my stance was firmly fuck festivals. Why do I even want to go to those? And now I'm like, look at all these festivals I want to go to.
Well, but of course that was at the time the only festivals we had experience with were country Thunder.
Yeah,
and so we were saying that we'd rather be in. If you haven't listened to it, it's an old episode, way back in the day. But we talked about how bars. Well, one, they're like closer to the people. You're kind of. It's more. What's the word I'm looking for? Like friendly? I don't know. It's more packed in.
Intimate.
Intimate. That's the word I'm looking for. It's more intimate, and then festivals, you're usually just out in the open with a million other drunk assholes. But with good music, I mean, they're still drunk, but it's not country thunder where it's people who don't actually like country music, so that's why they listen to pop country because it sounds like the rest of the shit they listen to.
Yeah, I think part of the reason too that I was so sour on festivals is like I refuse to believe that there was a festival anywhere that actually had basically a start to finish great lineup. I was just like, no, they're not going to do it. They will always
for in Texas or like Medicine
exactly.
Stone,
I was like, in my head, I was like,
existed.
I was like, but no, it's never going to happen where they're going to actually give me something I'd want to pay the money to go to. And now they're just proving me wrong, and I'm glad they are.
That being said, they're both great for their own things. So like the festival versus bars.
Sorry, it said it was an achievement, and it said complete the game on a difficulty, and it was like Mine Lieben, but I really looked over there. I thought it said Mine Lesbian, and I got really confused.
It's probably Wolfenstein then.
Yeah, wait for it to come back. I'll point it out again.
But yes, they both have their like perks. Like, well, because bars, you're usually just kind of hammering a bar for a night, and then you go home, and it's like we said, more intimate. But festivals, you're camping out for 3 days, and you're enjoying like 20 artists,
and it's the whole atmosphere of camping out as well.
Well, that's the thing we've said 100 times also is Country Thunder itself, the music has gone severely downhill. It's not even downhill, it's in the bottom of the valley, especially with them announcing Sam Hunt this year. It's like the low of the low now. But
they're in the negative.
But the thing that I will always love about Country Thunder is the atmosphere, because if you avoid the college drunk kids who are, just there to be shit-faced because they don't like country music, like they're just getting wasted. But like the friends we've made and like some of the campsites of older people who are there just to have fun, that atmosphere is amazing.
Yeah.
But like the music itself is not ever very good.
Yep.
So moving on from festivals, we're excited for all of them. We'll update everyone on them as they, come closer. If you, not that you care, but I don't care. It's our podcast.
You're gonna deal with it.
But yeah, so last weekend on Saturday we saw Jason Boland and the Stragglers and Mike and the Moonpies open for them, and
Mike Moonpie.
Mike Moonpie, as he's known. Mike Moonpie and the Moonpies. We saw them open for Jason Boland, and that concert was awesome. I mean, it was at that awful First Avenue Club.
Yeah, so I talked about it a little bit, however long ago, whenever I talked about going to Cody Johnson in Iowa City.
That was way back in the day.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's this venue in Iowa City, and it's legitimately just like this basement of this place.
Yeah.
It's got a short ceiling, like a normal size ceiling if you were just like in a normal, like in a doctor's office. Like,
yeah.
Like that's how high the ceiling is. And then there's just like a stage rammed in the corner, and you just kind of deal with it. And it's kind of a shithole, but you know,
it's big though, at least.
Yeah, it fits a lot of people, and then you can get pretty close to the stage, and you know, once they got the sound figured, it was fine.
Yeah, and at our because that's the thing you said, like Cody Johnson, you were like deafened.
Yeah, no, my right ear was blown out for a week.
Yeah, but I posted on Instagram. You should follow us, Country Hodgepodge. I posted about how it's crazy because we saw Jason Boland last year at Medicine Stone, and how it was insane that you go from Oklahoma, where they're from, so they're going to have the home state advantage, but it's just a packed festival of them on this huge stage, and then they come up to Iowa, and it's a half-full bar because it wasn't like...
Yeah.
They sent like duplicate tickets to try and get more people in the door, and that's my guess what they did. They wanted you to bring people. Like that's probably what it was. Because it wasn't selling. It didn't sell out. Like it's nothing against obviously either band, but it's Oklahoma and a Texas band coming up to Iowa where most people haven't heard of them. And so it was just insane going from Jason Boland, where everyone knows every word to every song, to Iowa, where most people knew because they were fans who were there.
Yeah.
But it was still a smaller venue.
Yeah, it's the thing that I always complain about out here is that there's so many artists that people just don't know around here. Where I would say the name and they'd be like, "Who?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
God damn it!"
And that's the thing we've talked about on this podcast way too many times, and I'm sure you're annoyed of us saying it. The reason why we started it was to get those names out there. And actually, after Mike and the Moonpies played and Jason Boland was on stage, I was in the back because you guys like staying close to the stage, and I can't do it. I just hate being crowded in there. I just want to stand in the back, listen to the music. But so I'm back there by myself, and I just kind of look behind me, and at the merch table, Mike Moonpie was there. And so I went up and I talked to him, and I was just like, "Hey, I don't know if you know me. I run the Country Hodgepodge, and we tweet about you a lot." And he goes, "Oh yeah, I was retweeting with you guys earlier." I was just like, "Yeah, you do kind of
more famous."
But so I chat with him. I was just like, "Yeah, the point of the site and the podcast is just we want to get the names of people who deserve it out there." And obviously Saving Country Music's doing a better time of getting their name out there than us, because Saving Country, well, he's been writing for 10 years. But yeah, so that's, I was talking about that, and it's just like, yeah, the only reason we want that. And so like, yeah, the people who are there are fans, and that's what we want to do, is we want to get more people at those shows, because we think that because like you said, maybe last week or the week before, it's last week because we did Turnpike last week, how you're like, we go to Medicine Stone and we come back and it's like, oh, who'd you see? It's like, oh, Turnpike Troubadours headlined, and everyone's like, I don't know who that is.
Oh, but update on Turnpike and getting our friends to become fans of them. I got a text from Matt Knoll after I told him to definitely check out Turnpike, and he said, and I quote, "Turnpike's songwriting is next level."
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. We if you didn't listen to last week's episode, we gushed about that a little bit, because it's
they're
amazing.
so good.
Turnpike, they're great.
If you don't know that, what are you doing?
Sturgill's songwriting's also good, but I never know what he sang. But we'll get into that soon.
If you read his songs, if you read the lyrics,
if you read them, they're great. But yeah, so I met Mike Moonpie, and he was super cool, like super nice, and we chat for probably 5-10 minutes. I don't want to bother him too long, because obviously he's having other people come up and say, "Hey, great show," and whatnot. So I don't want to hold him too much. But we got a picture.
Invite him onto the podcast.
I should have been that obnoxious drunk ass. I'm like, "You want to come on our podcast?" Which I will be doing to artists eventually, so...
Look out, artists that is not listening.
Yeah. But, so I'm super... He was super cool, and so I'm an even bigger... I mean, we were jamming to him on the way out there. We've been jamming to him for a couple of years now. But I'm super excited to see them again down the road, and
Yeah.
the fact that he's super nice like that
Yeah.
is awesome.
Absolutely.
We were going to see him again the next day, but it was a Super Bowl day, and we saw him that night. So we're just like, we'll just watch the game, which I'm not upset with because it was a good game. But
seriously, that was awesome.
Yeah, fuck the Patriots. Sorry if you're a New England fan, but I'm not sorry at the same time.
I'm not even a little bit sorry.
Yeah, exactly. But outside of Mike Moonpie and the Moonpies, Jason Boland was great as always because
I just love Jason. Boland.
And this time he played Como County Blue, which is
I know.
great because he didn't play it at
Medicine Stone.
But he did play Holy Relic Sail at Medicine Stone, I remember, and he played it again that weekend because that's my other favorite song by them. But,
yep.
And Dark and Dirty Mile, and all the other ones.
Well, they're just they have so many great songs that they're in that category. I mean, same with Turnpike where they will play a long set and get done, and you're like, oh, I didn't hear this, and this. And you say, well, they just have too many good songs.
Oh, and the other thing about Mike Moonpie and the Moonpies, they played some David Allan Coe for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was a great show. And, yeah, even though it's a little dumpy festival, I mean, their beer's cheap, and you get to see awesome bands. So, because William Clark Green is there at the end of March.
Pounders of beer were like $4.
Yeah, $4 for a 16-ouncer of beer.
Yeah, and then, as much as I feel bad for the artist when the place doesn't sell out, for me, I'm like, well, shit, I can walk to the pisser and back and not have any problems.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that more people go see them. But, yeah, so William Clark Green's there in March. Definitely going to want to go to that one. I don't know who's opening for him, but it's a Saturday concert, so I'm not opposed to going out there.
Yeah.
It's a great concert. If you are from Iowa and you're listening to this, it's in Iowa City, First Avenue Club. I was thinking if we had gone to Iowa and if we were students there, how many weekends we would have spent at that bar seeing concerts. Like that would have been amazing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, anyway, moving on. This week we wanted to talk about some Sturgill Simpson because we've been talking about him, since the day the podcast launched.
Who the fuck is Sturgill Simpson?
Who the fuck is Sturgill Simpson? That's a great. I actually bought that shirt because what was it? They interviewed him about the Grammys. Like, all these artists, and then people are gonna be like, "Who the fuck is Sturgill Simpson?" Yeah. When his album was up,
and then a lot of people were tweeting, "Who the fuck is Sturgill Simpson?"
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Fools. Yeah, so I'm gonna sound like a huge idiot when we're talking about his top 10 songs because listening to it, I just listening through his music again, I love the sound of his music. His voice is good. I just don't understand what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know what a lot of songs are about.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times the songs that I like, I have a general gist that I get out of it, but sometimes, I mean, we're going to get into it, but the one, Turtles All the Way Down, I have no fucking clue what's going on.
About being on drugs.
I know, but that part is clear, but when I've read the lyrics to that song before too, and I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, it's just his out there, it's like, psycho whatever. Psychedelic, that's the word I'm looking for.
Psychedelic country, Pink Floydy rock.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just kind of out there, but I've listened to that one before. I'm like, dude, other than just kind of talking about expanding your headspace, I don't really know what's going on here.
He talked about it when I saw him at Ribco. So also, this is your first time listening. This is my Alabama story, which I guess we'll tell that story. So Alabama for $5 at the day. So every time you mention Alabama, every time you mention Alabama to my dad or Kevin's dad, they go, "Oh yeah, we saw them at the county fair for $5, and the next year they were entertainers of the year at the CMAs and blah blah blah." So I joke that's my Sturgill because I saw him for I don't even know $5 or $10 at Ribco in college. He did an acoustic set. I was literally 10 feet from him, and the next year or the year after, I can't remember, was when we saw him opening for Willie Nelson in Texas. He blew up. So
he skyrocketed.
Yeah, so it was crazy that I saw him at such a small bar because it was right after High Top Mountain came out, and it was just before Meta Modern came out.
Yeah.
Because he played Turtles, and I remember he was up on stage explaining it, and he was just using all these scientific terms. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I remember
about, I've seen a YouTube video of him performing it acoustic just for I don't know, it was like NPR's Tiny Desk or something like that. And he was basically just saying, this is one that a lot of people try to nail down, and I don't think anyone's quite got it figured out yet. And then he starts playing it. And I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, you were right, Sturgill. We have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah, so Yeah, so I've seen him twice. We'll probably see him 3 times if we go to the Hinterland festival.
I would like to go to that, but we'll see if we can.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Now that I have a second job, so hopefully the podcast schedule doesn't get disrupted because I just picked up a second job because I am poor. So yeah, well, hopefully I'm not working every freaking Thursday.
So if you would like to advertise, countryhodgepodge.com.
yeah, you can help me quit one of my jobs. Preferably the one that pays less. But yeah, so we can just get into his top 10.
Let's get into it.
So
Sturgill's great. If you want to know more about him, we don't know shit about his biography.
Yes, this is just like the John Moreland episode. We listen to a lot of the songs and we just kind of don't know what they're about, but we love them because they're so. But so if you listen to this and you're like, I know exactly what this song's about, just
tweet it at us.
Yeah, just let us know,
and I'll acknowledge being wrong.
Yeah. It's like I always say, I love being wrong because it means I get to learn. But anyway, number 10, Living the Dream. Kevin?
Yeah. I mean, this one's kind of simpler. I mean, the whole line is, there ain't no point getting out of bed if you ain't living the dream. Like making a big old pot of coffee and you ain't got no cream. Kind of just, I mean, that seems self-explanatory. If you're not doing things that make you happy, what's the point? You're just kind of like wasting time, wasting your energy kind of thing. Yeah. That's what I believe he's going for. Again.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah, well, shit.
It's just about him being in a nightmare in Inception.
I'm too deep, man.
Yeah. Number 9, In Bloom. This is the Nirvana cover, right?
Correct.
Yeah. This one, I just... Really, all right, so I might be fucking chastised for this. I didn't really listen to Nirvana that much. I haven't listened to it that much. Obviously, as everyone knows, fucking, I think Kevin just died. Kevin died. But yeah, I don't.
Why you made you listen to Nirvana?
I like Foo Fighters.
That doesn't count.
I obviously know, I know a lot of Nirvana songs, but they're not a band I've gone through and just jammed all their albums. They're just ones that I know the songs that I know because they've been super popular in life. But, so In Bloom wasn't one I had heard it before, but I didn't know it that well before Sturgill covered it. So, I mean, I know I refer to it as a Nirvana song, not a Sturgill song, but, yeah. Sue me.
Yeah,
I don't know that much about Nirvana.
I enjoy Sturgill's cover of this, but I don't think it... I mean, having listened to Nirvana forever, it's very different, and I respect it, and I enjoy it, but, I don't think it comes close to the Nirvana version.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just like how...
Because it's just different.
It's just like how Johnny Cash's Hurt's terrible, and Trent Reznor's is the only good one.
Wrong!
Wrong.
That is a case of, Johnny Cash's Hurt is, undisputably better than Trent Reznor.
Pretty sure Trent Reznor said
it's
a
I'm pretty
Johnny
sure,
Cash song.
and it's not with any disrespect to Trent Reznor. It's just, he wrote a great song, and Johnny Cash was the person that needed to perform that.
Yeah, just mastered it. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I just like it. I just think it sounds good, and yeah. Number 8, It Ain't All Flowers.
Pretty sure he's going on about how things... There's other, it's like every rose has the thorn, looks beautiful on the outside.
I don't know that phrase.
It's definitely only been coined by Poison in that one Bret Michaels song. But, it's beautiful on the outside, but then there's the thorns underneath.
Yeah.
That whole idea, and so he's saying it ain't all flowers. Sometimes you gotta... I feel like he says in the song, sometimes you gotta smell the thorns. That's what it sounds like he's saying. And I'm like, wait, what? So that I don't know. But I'm pretty sure the gist is just about that.
So that just kind of reminds me of when Sturgill kind of just snuck on and played SNL with Chris Stapleton when he was scheduled.
Oh, and he was singing his part? What the fuck did you say?
Literally I did not understand a single word Sturgill Simpson sang. Don't get me wrong, he's a great entertainer. Like I said, I've seen him twice. But if you don't know the lyrics to his songs going into his songs, you will not understand what he is singing.
You get a little bit. It depends, but... Yeah, no.
On the album you can.
Yeah.
Live, I don't know if I've
fair.
ever.
Yeah.
I don't I knew a couple of his songs when I saw him live the first time, and then obviously the second time. But
which to be fair to to him and part of the reason we talk about how we like the sounds of the songs. I feel like a lot of his music, especially on meta modern, it is about like the atmosphere and the feel of the song as much as it is about what he's actually saying. And it's like, especially like with It Ain't All Flowers, like this is the one that starts and it's got this fucking weird like reverby kind of choppy thing going on, and then it outros to like nonsense. It's
I mean, it's
super
psychedelically
awesome.
Well, like, because if you haven't listened to Sturgill before this podcast, I don't know why, but
what are you doing?
His first album is just a kind of a country. It's just a country album.
Yeah, pretty.
Meta Modern is like a psychedelic
country rock. Yeah, psychedelic country.
And then
rock.
Sailor's Guide is country with a little bit of like
it's
this,
like an Americana horn,
got
dirty horn driven.
Yeah, rockish / country jam. His if you want, most artists, they kind of say like, oh, this next album's different, and they're usually not. Sturgill's 3 albums are very different. Like there are 3.
They're very different.
They're
and
pretty much different genres.
Yeah, and I love them all for what they are.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like Sturgill's exactly like, you know, the article I wrote whatever a week ago or whatever about the songs that are coming out and they're saying, oh, this is country, and it's not country at all. Ugh. People keep forcing the country thing on Sturgill, saying like wanting him to be like the savior of country music, and people want him to just only make country music. Yeah. And there was a part in time where I thought that too, like after High Top. And even after Meta Modern, I'm like, make a really hardcore country album, you're the man. But like after now, like when Sailor's Guide came out, like, I love what he's doing because the music that he's making, I think, is fantastic, and
I'm
glad
doing what he wants.
And I love that he's making what he wants. So you can call whatever the fuck you want. If you want to complain to us and be like, "You guys are country hodgepodge," and Sturgill's not even country anymore, I'm like, you know what? Fine.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Well,
his music's great.
Yeah. Well, next week when we do Sam Hunt, that's not country either. So, whatever.
Stay tuned.
But yeah. Anyway, number 7, The Promise.
I should know what this one's about, but I'm blanking because he talks about
about going out
on the road. Yeah, he's out on the road and he's saying like I'm sorry I can't find the right words to say like before he leaves, and so he's saying I promise you I will, and so I feel like what he's saying is he's either eventually he'll find the right words to say, or he'll eventually prove to her how much he cares even though he doesn't have the words. Something along those lines. It's a love song. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Anyway, number 6, Life Ain't Fair and the World Is Mean.
That one's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's about how life is super fair and the world is a nice place. Mm-hmm. But no, I just love this song where it's just like his manager's telling him like, I'm going to do everything. You just write the songs. Like, but at the same time, it's just like, but don't make the songs about this. Don't do that. But just do this. Just do it anyway. And like, so it's just it's like the Catch-22 type of lifestyle where it's just he can't win no matter what he does.
He has a lot of really like quick witty lines in songs, kind of about that, like about the music industry.
Yeah,
I feel like just kind of critiquing the whole deal.
Yeah,
which is also I feel like why he was probably busking outside of the ACMs or whatever the fuck award show it was.
Yeah, when he was sitting outside Bridgestone, that was a great moment where he has his Grammy award that he won, but he's not nominated for a single CMA, so he's out there just pretending to be like a panhandler, like
he's just like, talk to me about anything.
Yeah. The best was that he had his Grammy with him.
I know, and it's just Grammy's just sitting in his case. It's just like the greatest move of all time, just to be like, yeah, what's up? Oh yeah, no, those people are inside doing something. I don't really know what they're doing, but yeah, no, I got this little trophy thing.
Oh, it's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that song, it's one of his on his first. I feel like it's only like his first album where he has songs that are kind of goofy. Like his other ones are very kind of serious.
Other than Meta Modern being very out there sometimes.
Yeah,
that's not like silliness, but it's kind of fucking like what's going on. But yeah, I mean, Sailors is super serious because the whole thing is
about his kid.
The whole album is a message of advice to his son, which I think is so awesome. Oh yeah, and that's why I love that album.
Like the few songs that I do know that the words do, they're very good. They're very good father to son lyrics. But Yeah. Number 5, Turtles All the Way Down.
Like we said,
no idea.
No fucking clue.
It's about him being on every fucking drug known to man and how it opens his mouth.
Marijuana,
Well, because he has the
LSD.
line about how you can't make it illegal to think, so why are you making it illegal to do the things that help you think or whatever type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
expanding your brain space and people not wanting you to do that.
Yeah, it's just
sort of.
about
That's got to be part of it.
It's about being a hippie. I don't know.
Well, that's what he said. I can't remember. He got interviewed about this album, and he said something to the lines of like, in reality, it's really just my like psychedelic hippie jam love album. Like something like that is what he said about it. I'm like, oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, I just like this song, even though like I don't know the lyrics to the whole thing or the marijuana LSD. Yeah. But yeah, like other than that, it's just a really cool because I am a fan of Pink Floyd. I grew up listening to them. They're one of the bands I was like obsessed with them. Led Zeppelin.
You didn't listen to Nirvana.
I don't know. It's whatever. I missed my '90s grunge stage.
No, this makes sense.
Yeah,
this makes sense now. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
the way that our rock backgrounds in terms of what we focused on makes sense now.
Yeah, I was very classic '70s, '80s rock. You were very Fallout Boy.
I was an angry teenager.
Yeah, you're an angsty teenager. I was a stoner who didn't smoke weed. But but
Sturgill.
Yeah, but anyway, number 4, Keep It Between the Lines.
I love this. It's basically telling his kid to not fuck around
like he did.
Exactly, like it don't have to be like father like son, and because he just has all these different lines about don't turn mailboxes into baseball, don't get caught selling at 17, and like all these different things that he did and got in trouble for, and just telling his son like don't do it. And then it's also got really jamming horns and things.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like a live your life but keep it between the lines.
Exactly.
Just like just go
yeah,
straight.
and then he also has the lines about motor oils, just keep the engine clean. Like there's certain things like that people try to oversell you on or whatever, and like you can keep your life simple and just take care of the things that matter, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just a great one. Just like the next song is also an advice song. Number 3, beautiful. Welcome to Earth. Parentheses Pollywog.
So this song is the first one off of the latest album, off of Sailors. And the first time I listened to it, I was like, yeah, I like this. And then when it drops and the horns come in, I literally like stopped and looked up, and I'm like, oh man. And I was in, and I listened to the entire album, and then I started over and I listened to it all the way back through again. Yeah. And I was like, God damn, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is my favorite song from that album, even though it's the first one. But
it's my favorite from that album.
It's just it's pretty well, as the title says, it's just about his son coming to life and being born. And
he's talking about, he didn't realize what it would feel like to have his child, and I think it's funny because he's talked about this whole album and this song in particular now that he's got 2 kids. He's just like, shit, what am I going to do for the second kid since I did this whole thing about my son. Yeah. But he talks about, how he's always going to miss him, and when he's away and he's growing up, like all of those things, like if he's ever away, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love him, and like all of that, I just met you, my child, kind of thing. And I just think it's beautiful.
You're beautiful, Kevin. Aww. I know, I'm adorable. All right, hold on. Number 2, Hero. I got nothing.
I need a hero.
I need a hero in the morning light.
I don't know for sure who he's speaking about, but this song sounds to me like it's a song about a father, and then like the hero that he was to him, and then like the father either passing away or something like that, and he's just like, I won't be able to find another hero like that. Yeah, something along those lines.
Because he's got the lyric, but I watched him break his back on coal and lumber to give her everything she never had.
Yeah,
so
like,
it's just
I
about
feel
a
like
guy who's been trying to...
I feel like it's his father, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, to provide for his mother and him and everything. And it's just... I just like it because it's a very slow... you could tell that it's like a very heartfelt song, even though, as we can never tell what he's saying, it's mumblicious, but you can tell how he sings it, how he's giving it, that it's just this really heartfelt song that he wrote for someone. And yeah, I'm guessing it's his father, because that's kind of how the lyrics come out to be. If not his grandfather, if not, I don't know, whoever. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Because, I mean, the opening lyric is what I decided to write a song for my hero. And, like, so yeah, it's just a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're dumb. Next song, our number one song, which we unanimously chose. So Kevin's streak of not having my number one on his list.
I was upset that I wasn't able to.
I should have made it
over, but
something else.
Yeah, but I love this song. So.
But yeah, it's I think. Well, I'll say it first. Number one, You Can Have the Crown. I think this is the song that he talked about, because when I saw him at Ribco, he was talking about how he wrote a laundry list song, and everyone always wants to hear it, but he doesn't want to play it because he wrote it as a laundry list song. And I was like, because he didn't play this, so I was like, was it You Can Have the Crown? Because I don't think that's a laundry list song.
It is to a guy who is, like, he's the, I guess, I don't want to say this and have it be taken the wrong way, but he's like the hipster's hipster. So for an artist who was struggling and wasn't famous and then became famous in his 30s and had already struggled through life and things, writing a song about the struggles and not getting paid and going on the road and traveling and all of those things that go with that, that's why I think that he refers to it as his laundry list song, because he talks about, the bank is going to foreclose on me, and my truck has terrible
I gotta
gas
go rob a
mileage.
bank.
Exactly, but it's so beautifully written and hilarious that it's like, okay, this might be your laundry list song, but it's awesome.
Well, like I just love the lyric where he's just like, if I could get that record deal, I'll still be trying to figure out what the hell rhymes with.
What the fuck rhymes with Bronco?
So stupid.
And then I just love where he's just talking about it's just like. Talking about like he's like on the internet looking at a bunch of shit that he can't buy when he should be doing better use of my time, like figuring out which one of these banks I'm going to go rob.
This is, I think, is his most kind of, this or Life Ain't Friend of the World with Me, and those are his two most clever. I think that he's just like, they're the only two I think that I can think of out of his music that's super like goofy rather than it being kind of a more serious or psychedelic song. These are the two that are like just goofy as all shit. But,
exactly. I just think it's hilarious.
And this is the first song I ever heard, because I first heard Sturgill in, oh God, what was it, 2013 when this album came out? And I saw You Can Have the Crown when he performed it at like some brewery, and I was just like,
I watched the video of him playing it at the brewery.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I heard it.
Yeah, and that was like, that had to be like 2013 or something. Yeah, it was, and like I said, that was before he was anything, because, I saw him at a freaking bar doing an acoustic set. That's insane. But, so... Yeah, that's definitely our favorite song, because it's the one that introduced us to him, and if you could call me King Turd up here and shit mountain if you want to get another crown.
That's such a great line.
Yeah, and because he's just pretty much saying like, they call me like the king of the shit, but
because he's saying like he goes to bars and everyone says that he sounds great, and he's like, oh,
everyone says he ain't half bad.
Exactly, he ain't half bad.
Sturgill, despite us not knowing the lyrics because we're stupid and, I don't know, aren't paying close enough attention, he's so talented.
You gotta read him sometimes, and I don't want
to. And I kind of actually, I want to make like YouTube videos of just taking his concerts and then just making fake lyrics like to what he's singing that sound like what he's saying, like bad lip reading kind of thing, because that's...
Should make a shirt that just has like the lyrics to one of his songs, but it's just like word, and it gets like really tiny and just like scribbles, and then word, scribble.
And then just a question mark at the end.
I don't know what it's saying.
That'd be a good one. But so just despite our idiotic faces,
entire existence.
He's great, and those are our favorite 10 songs. And if you have other ones you like, let us know. But that's what we like about Sturgill. Anything else about him, Kevin?
I like his deal. And he says he's only going to make 5 albums, I believe is what he said. And he's sticking to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he's been quoted multiple times. It's either 5 or 6. I think it's 5. Maybe it's 6. Maybe it's 7. Fuck, I don't know. He said he's going to do a limited number of albums.
I know he said he wasn't going to tour much.
And he's sticking to that amount. Like, people have been asking him after, now that he's a whole year or so or whatever removed from Sailor's Guide to Earth. Like, oh, what's on the horizon or whatever. And he's like, still got just how many albums he's going to do. And it didn't really sound like he's got anything, like, gonna come out soon. Yeah. So that sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so albums that came out last week, I got 3. I think I had more than that, maybe not. But first is Montgomery Gentry, their final album, Here's to You. If you want, you can read my review on our website. I gave it a 7, I believe. There's a lot that's good, kind of just classic Montgomery. At the same time, it makes it sound kind of dated because this would have been an album that went number 1, in 2008 when they were at their peak. But there were some that are outdated, but the ones that weren't outdated, this is long story short, the ones that weren't outdated were the ones where they're trying to be bro country and they sound bad.
Yeah, there's some shit on that album that I really didn't like.
Yeah, but there is a lot of really good to it, so I would say check it out. My favorite song was King of the World. I think that was a good one, but that was kind of stupid, but it was good. Other than that, Mike Moonpie and the Moonpies.
Mike Moonpie.
Steak Night, The Prairie Rose came out, and that album's just amazing.
That is a really, really good album.
And the title track is great. Yep. Yeah, so definitely give that one a look. And then the Wood Brothers, One Drop of Truth. It's good. I didn't listen to it too much. I just, I listened to it once through, and I was like, that's good, and I'll include that. And I did. But yeah, so that's all that I can think of right now that came out. There might have been more, and I'm dumb, but yeah, that came out last week. Other than that, what have you been listening to, Kevin? You been listening to anything that you want to recommend?
Well, honestly, I went back down a hole of re-listening to Rustin Kelly's whole album over and over and over again.
Nice.
Because it's amazing.
Husband of Casey Musgraves,
and he's really fucking good. He really is.
He's okay.
You shut your face. Yeah.
No,
his album Halloween's great. Check it out.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to much else.
I was Sturgill and Jason Boland and Mike Moonpie.
And I was Mike Moonpie and the Moonpies. I was rebinging some Turnpike after last week's episode.
Oh, yeah. Turnpike is amazing.
Yeah, they're great. Anyway, you can find us at countryhodgepodge.com where we post sometimes. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Country Hodgepodge. On Spotify, you can go to the Hodgepodgecast Picks where we upload songs we talk about every week. To the playlist so you can listen to them whenever you want. You can also find Kevin's Picks of the Week on a link through the website, or if you find the user Donkey Factory on Spotify, one word. It's a dumb name.
Great name.
Every Monday he puts up 10 different artists and songs that he's just kind of listening to that he thinks you should listen to, and they're usually good.
They're always amazing.
Except for that one time he put the soundtrack to something. Damn it, I got nothing. I'm not a stand-up comedian or improv.
Boo.
Sorry. You can find one of our dumb shirts on a link through the site. We got a nice Walker Hayes Blows. We got a Sam Hunt Sucks. Got America Fuck Yeah. We got Is This Eric Church. All great shirts. You can check those out. You can find me on Facebook at Steve Hodge Music. You can find me on Twitter at CHP_Clifftron. You can find Kevin on Twitter and Instagram at CHP_Church.
What's up?
Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes or like it on SoundCloud or whatever the hell you do. You can find us on both of those. I might look into uploading them to YouTube. I don't know how the music would work. I might have to upload it without it. But
yeah,
we might get some listeners there. But thank you for listening to this week's episode. Hope we didn't sound too stupid, even though we probably did.
Just half retarded.
Yeah. Next week we're going to talk about Sam Hunt.
So
until next week, I'm Steve Hodge, as always, joined by Kevin. I'm saying goodbye, good night, and good Charlotte.